Tell everybody about what you do.
Okay. My name is Jocelyn Taylor. I'm the publisher with Uptown Magazine. Uptown Magazine is a magazine that targets the affluent African American consumer, and our mantra is living, lifestyle, and luxury. And when you look through the magazine pages, you'll see that from the covers through the editorial and the advertising, that we are definitely targeting what we call our tastemakers, and those are people that definitely have a verve for life. Also are people that are definitely consumers of luxury goods. And that's one of the reasons why Uptown Magazine has come into existence, is because we needed to have a vehicle to show that we are the type of audience that has obviously been underserved in many other vehicles of magazines. And this shows us in a vibrant way that we've not been shown in most publications, in a lifestyle environment. So we're very proud to be part of it, and we're celebrating our 5th year now.
Is this a new look for y'all?
What, in terms of?
As far as the different styles of the
You
design?
know, traditionally, our magazine, we initially started off just in Harlem, so that's why it was called Uptown. And we believe that we capture what was the heart and soul of New York, Harlem. So when we had this oversized, glossy, beautiful magazine, at the time when people would see it, it always had a national feel to it because of the way it was presented. So about a year later, we launched Uptown Atlanta, Uptown DC, and Uptown Chicago. And again, we still had a national distribution to other areas, but it was only concentrated to maybe cities like Los Angeles, Houston, Detroit, Miami. But now, 5 years later, we have a circulation of 200,000, so we're throughout the country. You can get us in a Barnes & Noble, Hudson newsstands throughout the country. And traditionally, we always show a celebrity, someone that's a noted person on the covers, because obviously those are what sells on newsstands. But when you're looking inside the book, it's all about the tastemaker, the doctor, the lawyer, the Indian chief, the entrepreneur, and the people that we are, you know. And what we're really trying to show to our audience is an affirmation to the fact that we know that our success, even though it's a respected industry, sports and entertainment, that's not really how we're always measured. So that's the wonderful thing about Uptown. And, you know, it's just about the culture and the celebration of people of color.
I'm excited. I mean, that was a handful. So anything else they need to look for coming up?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of things. Uptown Magazine is part of Uptown Media Group. And so we just acquired, about a month ago, Vibe Magazine. So now Vibe Magazine is also part of Uptown Media Group, as well as Uptown Magazine. That's going to come out 6 times a year. So we're going to change it and bring it back to the essence of what Vibe initially was when it first came out. And one of the co-founders of Uptown Magazine was also one of the initial ground team people that started Vibe Magazine. So it's like it's coming back home, so to speak, and we're going to bring it back full circle. So that's the wonderful thing about what we're doing, is that we're more than just a magazine. We're part of a whole media group conglomerate, and we're building upon that. We have Uptown TV. We have uptownlife.net, which you can go online, and we have a microsite within that called Uptown Social, which is kind of like an online Zagat, where we give you information twice a week, and it goes out to, right now, about 15,000 people throughout the country, and they can opt in to get information about anything dealing with lifestyle issues. And then we do profiles as well on the tastemakers that are, basically, we're bringing to life the people that are inside the magazine. It's an online component. And then, of course, we have wonderful events and partnerships, such as the one that we have with Macy's. So it's continuously building the brand and also bringing it to life. So it's a lot of touch points to what Uptown Media Group is doing.
Do you have an outreach component?
I beg your pardon?
Do you have an outreach component? As far as the inner city, inner city?
Interestingly enough, I was here yesterday, and I flew down a day early to speak to 2 of the high schools here in the inner city, what we might call at-risk students. Right. Students who are kind of on the edge, but they need to know, they need those right role models. And I worked with an organization called La Belle Vie. It's love yourself, and I'm trying to think of the second part of the mantra, but really it's really about giving back. So the people that were involved in the event yesterday, besides myself, they had a few people from the sports arena that were there. You had some politicians. You had a person from the White House that visited. And we spoke to them over about a 3-hour period at the 2 different schools over a 2-day period. I came in yesterday. And it was wonderful. We passed out the magazines. We just spoke about different opportunities that you can have as a young black person and to aspire in terms of your education and being focused. And that these are some of the things, the positive images that we show in our publication about aspiring, that those kids can look to as well.
Well, you heard it first on dunktvHD.com. If anything you don't know about Uptown, you should know now.
Or you can always go to www.uptownlife.net and check us out.
You heard it first. CBC Fashion Show here at Macy's. Uptown, Uptown. Thank you.